Have you ever pondered what drives a hero to embrace both love and wrath, even if it costs them everything? Imagine knowing your life is meant to be fantastic, but equally bound for catastrophe. This is the tale of Achilles, a warrior unlike any other whose passion and wrath would determine the course of a nation. Achilles was born from two worlds. His mother, Thetis, was a sea nymph, a supernatural creature from the depths of the ocean, and his father, Peleus, a mortal monarch. He was considered as a great potential person even in infancy, someone meant to change the path of history. Still, the road forward was not clear-cut. It was loaded with turns of allegiance, desire, and the terrible weight of fate. Growing, Achilles was taught by the knowledgeable centaur Chiron, a mentor renowned for teaching heroes. Chiron taught him to hunt, heal, play music, all the talents that would help him to become more than just a warrior. But Achilles had someone else at his side as well. His closest companion was Patroclus, a mortal with no predictions, no powers, no celestial origins. Their tie ran deep, beyond friendship, beyond even family. They discovered strength, loyalty, and love in one another, a relationship that would finally serve as Achilles' anchor. But the tranquil days of youth wouldn't endure. Far over the seas in the golden city of Troy, a prince named Paris made a tragic choice. He had seized Helen, the wife of a prominent Greek monarch, igniting fury across Greece. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a call to arms. The Greeks saw Troy as a city that had insulted their honor, and Helen became the spark that would ignite one of the greatest conflicts in myth and history. Achilles was not only another soldier in this battle, he was a force to be reckoned with. Armed with a spear forged from a mountain peak and a team of horses produced from the wind, he joined an army that filled over 1,000 ships. Achilles was well aware that he was fulfilling a destiny, but he also knew he wasn't doing it alone. Patroclus would be by his side, a silent bodyguard to his blazing flame. At Troy, the Greeks found powerful opponents headed by Prince Hector, Troy's defender and Paris's brother. Hector was as skillful as he was noble, and his commitment to Troy paralleled Achilles to Greece. The fights raged, with Achilles mowing down Trojan men as if he were indestructible. Some thought his mother had dipped him in the river Styx, making him practically immortal. Others believed she had anointed him with ambrosia, the nectar of the gods, but even indestructible soldiers can be worn down. As the years passed, tensions simmered among the Greeks. A battle ensued between Achilles and the Greek ruler, Agamemnon. Achilles had captured a woman named Briseis as a reward, but Agamemnon, out of envy, claimed her for himself. Furious and deceived, Achilles refused to fight. Without their strongest fighter, the Greeks crumbled. They needed him severely, but Achilles was unaffected. Patroclus, observing the misery of his comrades, was forced to intervene. He begged Achilles to let him don his armor, to lead the Greeks only once in his honor. Reluctantly, Achilles agreed, but with a warning: Patroclus must not venture near the walls of Troy, for the god Apollo guarded the city's gates. Donning Achilles' armor, Patroclus rode out, and his presence struck fear into the Trojans. For a brief, brilliant moment, he was as unstoppable as Achilles himself, but glory can be misleading. Drawn toward the walls, Patroclus met Apollo's fury. The god smote him, leaving him exposed, and Hector took the moment, slaying Patroclus and seizing the armor. When news of Patroclus's death reached Achilles, his grief was unlike any wrath seen before. Consumed by guilt and anguish, he swore revenge. This was no longer a fight for Greece or for Helen, it was a war for Patroclus. With his fury stoked, Achilles tore into battle, his attacks propelled by an unyielding thirst for retribution. The Trojans fled, their spirits crushed under the weight of his anger. Achilles would not be denied, and shortly he encountered Hector on the battlefield. Clad in the armor of his fallen buddy, Hector battled courageously, but Achilles understood its weak points. With accuracy and ferocity, he struck the killing blow. Yet, even Hector's death could not sate Achilles' sadness. In an act of defiance and sadness, he desecrated Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot as a cruel message to Troy. But even as he exacted his retribution, Achilles was haunted. That night, the ghost of Patroclus visited him, appealing for a funeral so they can rest in peace together. Achilles agreed, his heart weighed down by the thought that revenge had not brought peace. Meanwhile, Priam, the ruler of Troy, took a daring decision. He ventured into the Greek camp, unarmed, to ask Achilles for his son's body. Face to face with the man who had killed his son, Priam's humility sparked something within Achilles. The two men, each suffering a sadness unimaginable, shared a moment of understanding. In an unexpected gesture of kindness, Achilles delivered Hector's body to Priam, finding a sliver of solace in the old king's fortitude. Achilles knew his fate awaited him. He had chosen a short life filled with grandeur, but he suddenly realized how close the end was. Sure enough, not long after Hector's death, Paris, Hector's younger brother, fired an arrow guided by the god Apollo, striking Achilles in his heel, the one susceptible area, on his otherwise indestructible body. In the end, Achilles and Patroclus were united once more, their ashes mixed as they had been in life. The Greeks eventually claimed victory over Troy, but their triumph was bittersweet, clouded by the sacrifice of heroes on both sides. Achilles' story wasn't just one of might and conflict. It was a narrative of friendship, commitment, and the cost of fury. His legacy goes on not because of his power alone, but because he was a hero who dared to love sincerely and fight ferociously, leaving behind a story of triumph and tragedy that would resound through the ages. With that stated, thanks for watching. Until next time.